In this lesson, we'll talk about setting up and working with Maya projects. So when we work with our scenes in Maya, the way that Maya kind of organizes and consolidates all of the assets that it's bringing in, the scene files and everything, is in what's called a Maya project. It's basically kind of a collection of folders so that Maya knows where everything's located, and you can kind of link to things in a relative way so that it knows where everything is supposed to be. So let's take a look at what this actually looks like as far as the folders go. So if we go into our, in this case I'm just going to my C drive, so there's a top folder, and this is the name of the Maya project, and then it has all of these folders inside that contain different things that Maya is going to need. So our scene files, any images that we want to bring in, texture files and things like that, renders that we might do, movies, any OBJ files or any other data that we want to save out. So our autosave folder. So it's kind of a collection, again, of all of these folders. Let's see how we can actually work with this in Maya. So to kind of see what project we're working on here, we can go down to File, and there's a few things here: Project Window, and then Set Project. So if we just go to Set Project, it's going to jump into, in this case, our C drive, and then we can just select a particular folder and put Set, and that'll set it to that project. Or if we'd like to create a new project, we can go to the Project Window. This brings up our current project, which is that top folder that we looked at in a second ago, and then also the location. So in this case, it's just on the root of our C drive. Underneath that, you'll see all of these entries, and these correspond to those folders that we saw. So there's a scenes folder, templates is the assets folder, images go in the images folder. You can see how all these relate going down the list here. And we'll stay on this primary project location. This is going to be our main project. If you have any custom spots where you want to start to draw information from or save things to, you can add those in as well. If we come up here, we can't really click on this location until we decide that we want to create a new project. So if, for instance, we wanted to start something new, we could say, okay, new project. Then that'll enable us to pick where we want to put this. So if we want this new project to be just on the C drive, we could now, put in a new name, and then once we accept, it'll create that project, and it'll also set that project as our default. Okay, so for instance, if I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that and stay with our base project, let's go ahead and let's save our scene. So whenever you save a scene, it's going to default into the scenes folder of your particular project. So you can see I'm in the project that I've been assigned to in the scenes folder. If you happen to be somewhere else, if this shows a different location, you can always come over here to the left side. It'll show you your current project, and then these are all the folders. So you can always click on these folders. If you're in a folder that you don't want to be in, you want to go back to your project to save your scene, or even to load a texture, you can come in and say, go into the source images folder of my current project, and that's where my textures are going to be. So it's a really quick way of jumping back to those folders that you're going to need to access from your particular Maya project. Okay, you can also access the set project down here if you need to change your project. All right, so again, you want to make sure that you create your project, set that project. We'll have projects that come with your project files that you can actually set your project to. You can either go into the project window, or you can go to set project and choose that folder that way. And that way you can access all the project files that are going to come with this. The scene file start files, which we haven't really had yet, but as we start to get into the modeling and things like that, you will have start files that you can look at if you want to. And to be able to access those quickly rather than kind of looking around everywhere, you can use those Maya projects. Okay, so again, just kind of a way of organizing things. Maya likes to have those projects set, and it'll make your life a little bit easier too to have that set so that you can know where everything is going to be saved out and where you can access things very quickly. So the next thing that we'll talk about is saving files from Maya. So saving scenes out, what kind of formats are available to us, how can we do that, before we jump into talking about some viewport shading and selection modes. So we'll talk about scene files in the next lesson.